everybody was there because there was this informal agreement between the Greek government of Andreas Papandreou at the time and these terrorist groups that if you don't kill Greeks, we'll leave you alone. But killing Americans wasn't part of the deal, so it was every man for himself. So we finally got him, and then the question is, what do you want to do with him? And they told me, hang on to him. I said, what's that mean? So he describes these 10 techniques. And I said, I don't know, man. That sounds like a torture program. And he said, it's not a torture program. We need an hour to think about it. I walked out of the cafeteria. I went up to the 7th floor, which is the executive floor. And there was a very, very senior officer up there for whom I had worked 10 years earlier in the Middle East. I knocked on his door, no appointment or anything. And I said, hey, I need some advice. I was just asked if I wanted to be trained in these enhanced interrogation techniques. What do you think of that? And he said, first of all, let's call a spade a spade. He said, this is a torture program. They can use whatever euphemism they want, but this is a torture program, and torture is a slippery slope. He said, you know how these guys are. They're going to go overboard, and they're going to kill a prisoner. And when that happens, there's going to be a congressional investigation, then there's going to be a Justice Department investigation, and somebody's going to go to prison. Do you want to go to prison? I said, no, I don't want to go to prison. As it turned out, I was the only person who went to prison, but I said, no, I don't want to go to prison. I went back downstairs. I said, listen, I have a moral and ethical problem with this. I think it's illegal, and I don't want any part of it. The funny thing is, I had just captured Abu Zubaydah, who we believed was the number 3 in al-Qaeda. And I got passed over for promotion.